uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Man, that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
The hottest chat in the MFing game. First in the building. Boxing fan talk on deck. I see you. WCS checking in. Let's get it to the hottest chat on the YTC. Nothing but blessings. You definitely know what it is. Yes, sir. Big blunts and boxing in the building. Combat salute OG. Boxing fan talk. What's good, family? Hot. Grease Chronicles. Yes, sir. Sum it up. Zip it up. You know what I'm saying? You know where we coming. You know how we coming from, man. You know what it is. We got so much to unpack. I just took off my payload, man. You know what I'm saying? I marched all the way in here from the rally point. And we got a lot to talk about when it comes to combat sports. A lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Several topics in the title. Can't wait to hear the cooking on this while I work. Salute to everyone who will be entering the chat. Don't forget to hit the like button. Much appreciated. The GOAT is in the building. Big blunts and boxing. Salute to you, bro. Mass fishing and growing. No doubt. Salute to you this morning. Good morning to everybody that's on deck. Your hottest chat in the MF game. You know what I'm saying? Don't bite my shit. You know what I'm saying? I put that out there. Because it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? I got the hottest chat in the game. Period. Haynes legacy in the building. What's good with it, Haynes? Salute. Hopefully all is well with the fam and all that. You know what it is, man. You already know what it is. It's midweek Wednesday. Prior to this, prior to July 29th, we was talking about it's another week closer to the fight. The fight has already happened. And now we get to see different media outlets, media segues speak on it. We have people that wasn't around initially when we was out here, you know, goddamn kicking up dirt and dust. They wasn't around when we was talking about this. They was sitting back because they wasn't sure. But now that Crawford has proved to them again what it is. Now he's making his rounds. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get to Crawford, of course. And also, we're going to get to Bradley, you know, and I'm going to drop a little grenade on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to drop a grenade on you that was sent to me. And you can take it however you feel like it. But it's going to shake some people up. It's going to shake some people up. And it's not something I wrote. You know what I'm saying? This is what was sent to me. And I never even I wanted to wait till the right time to put it out. So I'm going to think about if I'm going to put it out on this live since it has multiple topics, or I'm going to do a specific live on it. I'm going to think about it because it's going to shake some people up. A lot of people don't have the cojones to put this out. But, you know, it's media at the end of the day. It's not what I wrote. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep it moving. Don Vaughn on deck in the building. What it do, Don, on this Wednesday? Shawty, what it do, what it do, what it do. Salute to you, brother. Salute WCS in the chat. Gert's on deck. Yes, sir. Salute to everyone in the chat, man. Big morning, on top of the morning. About to usher in this afternoon. You already know. Jamal Neasy in the building. What's good with it, Neasy? Salute to you. Salute WCS. Salute chat. So no mas. I'm about to get to that. I'm about to get to Crawford's no rematch. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to it now. I'm gonna cook it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put it in the hot grease. It's gonna cook. NYT, what's good? Salute to you, brother. On deck, Jameson Edwards. I see you in the building. Salute WCS. Shout out to Toby Bartlett from across the pond. Salute, palms down, man. We global in this. Salute WCS in the chat. We're global, baby. We're global. We're gonna keep frying these mofos until we got them all. We have to. You know what I'm saying? We have to do proper etiquette and protocol and clean up. You know what I'm saying? Once you go into the battlegrounds and you cause chaos and destruction there, Toby, you got to go back and clean up. You got to make sure you clean up. Not to leave, not to say you want to make sure you got all the evidence, because we're not trying to clean up any evidence. You know what I'm saying? But we just have to make it enough to us, you know, to walk back and forth. You know, whoever else want to go sightsee, you know, they want to go back and they say, I heard about this place. You know, we just clean it up enough so it won't be, you know, bad on the kids who look at it. You know, you got to take care of the youngins. I don't want the kids to be feeling some type of way. They say, Mommy, is that a head over there? Is that blood over there, Daddy? No, we want to clean it up because the chaos and confusion that went on July 29th. So it's up to us to just tidy it up a little bit, make it presentable for passerbys and pedestrians. You know what I'm saying? Civilians just walking by because they want to go to ground zero. You know what I'm saying? They want to know, damn, is this where it happened? Wow. I wish I would have been there. Dad, it looks bad. You know, I can see where they're trying to clean up, but it's super bloody over here. Yeah, you know, from what the news has said, that that guy got mangled. He got mangled over here. You know, blood was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to Harvey Doc doing an outstanding job and said he looks great. But goddamn it, when Crawford started putting those gloves on him, son, I couldn't let you see it. I couldn't let you see it live. DJ7, what's good? Peace to the chat. Peace to WCS. Salute to you. DJ7 in the building. Shout out to Tyrese with the $2. With the two deuce. Come on, man. We never gonna lose. WCS Donna never let the peanut get room temperature. WCS Donna never let the peanut oil get room temperature. You ain't lying, right, Tyrese? Don't never let it get room temperature. You feel me? Mike on deck, I see you. Salute. Boxing God 7 in the building. Salute, WCS. Salute to you, brother. Charles Pickett on deck. Let's get down to the get down. So we have so much that's coming up to the surface. I just had to, you know, put my all-encompassing thumbnail up here. You know what I'm saying? World Combat Sports. And we're gonna hit some serious topics. But first, I want to start off by letting you listen to Timothy Bradley. And then we're going to dive into the other miscellaneous topics as far as Crawford, the compilation video that Crawford is speaking about as far as the rematch goes. You know what I'm saying? It's very conducive. You know what I'm saying? Something I thought that would be important to let the hottest chat in the game listen to. And you know, just to give a little bit more history on how this all played out, you know, the way it is, how it's all playing out as we speak. You know what I'm saying? And being the fact that Timothy Bradley is also pretty much agreeing, concurring. to what PBC was trying to do, because I put it out there. Me and a lot of other people put it out there that, in 2022, it wasn't Bud Crawford's fault that the negotiation stalled and was absolutely treading water. You know what I'm saying? And for reasons unknown to us, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about specifically because there was no documentation or nothing. It was just rumor mill. This contract was passed back and forth and all that. But we knew for a fact that Crawford agreed to everything, but they wanted the fight to take place in 2023. And I tell you, I communicate with people that's at certain organizations. You know what I'm saying? And I have a nugget. It's a shiny bastard too. Very, very, like the praising value. It's very expensive to get a nugget like this. So I'm still trying to see if I want to drop it in this one, but let's get to Timothy Bradley. And shout out to the soldiers behind the scene. You know what I'm saying? Big Blunts in Boxing. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? For being that soldier behind the scene. Not only that, some other cats that's been sending, stuff behind the scene too, man. Trade Life. I see you out there, man. Appreciate you. Real talk, man, because these cats don't have to, they don't have to do that. Cameron, man, shout out to y'all, bro, for dropping that, for dropping those bits and pieces of nuggets that help the goddamn train keep on running down these motherfucking tracks. You know what I'm saying? And running bitch cold smack over. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So let's get down to listening to Timothy Bradley scorch these dudes. Now, I like highlighting my colleagues, I'm gonna highlight Shaw News clip that he did with Timothy Bradley. Why? Because, he's a frontliner. You know what I'm saying? Me and Shaw News go way back. I'm gonna highlight his clip he did. Y'all be sure to check him out on IG and check out the clip for yourself. The real ones look out for the other ones. You know what I'm saying? They ain't up here, walking around with heavy chip on their shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Here goes Shaw News clip on Timothy Bradley.
But like I said, I'm going to use the Timothy Bradley segment stating this. July 29th, the jig was up, man. Not only did you not age out Terrence Crawford, the inactivity and lack thereof you fighting, it didn't age you out because we're only 32 years old, 33. Hopefully you're not old, but the inactivity and I guess what we're seeing now on the YTC, you not working with your famous strength and conditioning coach, got you stopped. But that's pretty much all I got for you with this source. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. This is the Source Experience. Zaga, yaga, ahala. Oh yeah, sometimes our boxing views might offend y'all that don't really know what boxing views are. Hopefully you caught that.
She is, and so on and so forth. Well, your plan failed. Your plan failed. Spence, your plan failed. You thought you was going to stall out my man. You thought you was going to stall out Crawford. You thought you was going to catch him slipping. You literally thought you was going to catch him slipping. At the end of the day, you thought you was going to age him out. You thought you was going to, you thought you was going to let him run away. That's the problem. You waited too long, Spence. You waited too long. Al, you waited too long. You should have done this fight 3-4 years ago. You probably would have had a better chance of beating him. You would have had a way better chance of beating him. So your plan failed you. Your plan failed you, man. So that's just it. That's just it. They had a plan, and Spence alluded to it early when they met and in the backstage at a fight. When he's like, I'm gonna take care of what I got over here, and then I'm gonna finally fight you or whatever. That was a time when you was at your very, very best mentally, physically, and all that. You should have fought him then.
Timothy Bradley took it upon himself to absolutely unholster the flamethrower. Timothy Bradley, Hall of Famer, shout out to you for being so vehement, to being a person that chose to eviscerate what they was trying to do to Terrence Crawford. You letting it be known to the public what a lot of us was talking about there, Timothy. You know Crawford from way back in the day. So now that this has come to fruition, even Timothy Bradley is saying that PBC attempted to wait Crawford out. What did I say? They last man to cross, the last ditch effort to get that WBO title was Shawn Porter. The last ditch effort was Shawn Porter, y'all. And you know what? I showed you this video of the Shawn Porter situation. You know what I'm saying? Let's see it again before we get to this next video clip.
In the ring, with the best of them, and the fight is won in training. So, given the fact that we expected Errol to come out the way he did, given the circumstances that we knew what he was going to do when he was going to do it, because Errol fights the same way each and every time he stepped foot in the ring. All we had to do was take away his jab, we felt.
I mean, they pretty much, you have seen this before, but, when somebody's saying they pretty much figured you out, and, it was something that they needed to do that would absolutely crumble any progress that you thought you was going to have, is taking away the jab. It's damningly. Oh my God. Some people may find it sully, but it's very hard to listen to when you're supposed to be on an elite level and you have Terrence Crawford, a fighter who has been showered with criticism coming up to that point, July 29th, right? And for him to go in there and dance through it, you know what I'm saying? Dance in the eye of the storm like that. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. This is a future Hall of Famer. We had a chance, you know what I'm saying, to witness that greatness play out in front of us. And not only that, per the sweet science, I always say this, it's all up to the styles that make the science sweet. You know what I'm saying? Just because people in the laboratory doesn't mean they're coming up with something that we're going to be able to marvel. We're going to sit back and put our index finger on our cheekbone and say, damn, I ain't never seen that before. That's amazing. You know what I'm saying? The sweet science is an enigma because no one really knows the template to the sweet science. But WCS told you a while ago that Errol Spence was a template fighter. And when you a template anything, that means someone can fill in the blanks. You don't want to be a template for nobody. And Team Crawford found out what it was. Let me take a slight pause and recognize that AJ versus Helenius tune-up is on the horizon. Initially, the news that came out that it might be Rothman Jr. But now we're about to get a common opponent in Robert Helenius. Yes, a common opponent. Deontay Wilder's last opponent was Robert Helenius. So, it's one of those situations where we didn't get enough. For those of you that's watching that fight, you might have sneezed. You might have been eating some Popeye's chicken and it dropped out of your hand into the carton. And you said, oh, shoot, I don't want to waste my fries. So you was busy distracted for a little bit and you raised back up and the fight was over. And Robert Helenius and your drumstick and your fries was looking the same way. They was laid out. You know what I'm saying? They weren't moving. But all you wanted to be, you wanted to ensure that none of your Popeye's chicken was on the floor. And it was cool. They was good. But Helenius and your goddamn number 3 was good to go. They was all looking the same. You know what I'm saying? Helenius was laid out by Deontay Wilder. And now all of a sudden, Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua supposed to be fighting at the end of the year. And he's fighting a common opponent in Robert Helenius. That's great. Kudos. I shall talk about it in a different hour up the road. Back to the task at hand. I want to talk about it to you all, about something that was explained, because I'm gonna get the Crawford CBS. You know what I'm saying? His CBS. He's making his rounds. I love it. I love that Bud is getting his exposure. You know what I'm saying? No longer under the microscope of scrutiny, y'all. This man is out in the open for everyone to see. I'm not saying he wasn't that way, but it just seems like they always had him up under the lens and they were zooming in trying to find something wrong. BLK, he moving funny. He negotiating a bad face. He's ducking. He haven't fought nobody. His resume sucks. He's trashed as a fighter. He's never had time to develop. You know what I'm saying? Nobody respects his undisputed. You know what I'm saying? And then when you put people under the microscope like that, you look at it, it gives all the wrong vibes. You feel me? It's all the wrong vibes, y'all. Like you want to be in the limelight. You know, Crawford had to get it the hard way. Real talk. He had to get it the hard way. You know what I'm saying? He just had it to get it the hard way, man. Everywhere he turned, it was muddy. It was extremely muddy. He was looking for dry ground, and he had to get soil first. He had to do it the grimy way. You know what I'm saying? Everything he went in there with, it was grimy, adverse, inclement weather, rough terrain, and Crawford continued to just get through it and be successful. But yet, every time he got to the other side to complete the mission, they say, oh, something else is wrong. It didn't really count. Julius Ndongo, he wasn't nobody. Who cares about that? So what? He got undisputed. Julius Ndongo, look at how many losses he had after that. The man couldn't win in the eyes of the fan. But where that shit counted was inside that ring. You know what I'm saying? Because he showed people what he was as a boxer and what he was as a man. And that was the most important thing. He continued to prove people wrong. He continued to show them that, you know, his level, his reservoir of courage cannot be tampered with just based off fans who want to criticize him and act like he ain't doing anything when they actually seeing it for themselves, you know? So I want you to listen to this freaking video, right? I'm gonna share it right quick. I want you to listen to this. It's important to me, because it breaks down where we at right now with this rematch. You know what I'm saying? It's so much content out, and people are getting it once again misconstrued. They know the man went in there and dominated, but still they want to parlay the idea that there's no way that Terrence Crawford truly doesn't know how much power he has over these weak, feeble, fragile-minded individuals. You know what I'm saying? He may know, but he may not know. Because for somebody to have that much control over your honor system, your integrity, is crazy. It's crazy, y'all. This man has unbelievable power over these people. So let me take you back to an interview that he did and how he talks about the rematch situation. Because people are not understanding that this rematch wasn't something that he was worried about. He wanted a one and done. Just like Teofimo Lopez fought Vasyl Lomachenko, one and done. He wasn't worried about anything else. So let me share this right quick. And we're going to get down to it, y'all. Because, you know, it's up to us to put all this history together. You know what I'm saying? To put all this history together, man. So here we go.
Dragging their tail, and you know, things just didn't, you know, meet the terms that we was trying to meet. And I wanted to get a fight in this year, and so I moved on. But the mission and the plan is still the same. You know, after this, you know, we can revisit the conversation of me and Errol Spence sharing the ring together, and hopefully we can get that fight locked and sealed and delivered to all the fans that want to see the fight. Well, me personally, I don't know what Broner's deal and structure is like, but I already got half of my money already, and I'm gonna get the other half before I even step in the ring, like a week before. So, you know, that way I don't have to worry about if they have the money or if they don't, or have to go through all those hoops on getting paid. So my money is already secured. Well, you always got to have a backup plan. You know, I basically just kept them in the loop and let them know, like, I wasn't doing no business with them. And, you know, the Spence fight was my main priority, and that's the fight that, you know, I was mainly focused on. And they understood that. And, you know, they kept in touch and just, you know, let me know, like, if there was ever an opportunity for them to, you know, host the Terrence Crawford fight, then they was all up for it, you know. So once the, you know, Spence fight, you know, fell through and I found out that they didn't want me, well, we wasn't going to fight in November. They was going to push it all the way to next year. Then at that.
Y'all hear that? We can't make this up. You understand that? That's what we've been talking about, right? That's what people have been mentioning. The real ones is stay close. Stay close to the situation. They wanted to push the fight to 2023. They didn't want the fight in 2022. But you know, everything, you know, that's in the darkness shall come to the light. And they was trying to keep, you know, Bud Crawford in the dark. Hopefully somebody will come in there and be a thief in the night and take that WBO title from him. But in order for it to be effective enough,
particular time, you know, I had.
In order for it to be effective enough for Spence and his people to make a fight with those the thief that was able to lift the belt, they would have had to do it the right way and take it from Terrence Crawford. And that theft did not work. That heist was unsuccessful. They was putting all their hopes into Sean Porter, and it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't work. And it's no positive outlook to this when it comes to Team Spence. Everything is out on the table. You know what I'm saying? They want to push the fight to 2023. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence lied to the people and say he was going to fight in November with or without. And he said himself, he chose to stay out the ring for his own reasons. He said he didn't want to get cut, hurt, or whatever. He wanted to stay out the ring and get the Terrence Crawford fight. And we all know that wasn't true. He wasn't trying to just stay out the ring to get the Terrence Crawford fight. He had to stay out the ring for other reasons. Everything I said about him leaving Texas before this fight, how difficult it would be, was true. You know what I'm saying? You don't need, you know what I'm saying, 80,000 people, 80,000 subscribers, you know, to talk your shit. You don't need that. But it's a lot of reality that has came to the light on this, and it's great. I love it, man. I love it. He say they wanted to push the fight. Why would he just make up that they wanted to push the fight somewhere if it wasn't true? That was the reality of it. They didn't want the fight in 22. Let's keep it moving.
I had to, you know, do what I had to do. Me fighting Errol Spence, then a rematch, and if we split, then another fight, which, you know, I explained to them. I didn't even ask for a rematch, so, you know, I don't know where everybody got Terrence Crawford wanted the rematch and this and that and this. That never was the case.
That never was the case, y'all. Terrence Crawford did not want to rematch. So you saying the W says, why you mentioning that? That was an old video. Because he didn't want the rematch. And we're waiting for a rematch. Why? Because of Team Spence wanted the rematch. They wanted to ensure that they get a second shot because of the bag. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence hired a new management team or whatever to get the bag. They found out once, Errol Spence said, I feel like I'm being played or whatever the case may be. Yeah, he was feeling like his own people over there. The Grand Poobah was playing him. You know what I'm saying? Trying to basically prohibit him from making millions. You know what I'm saying? When you find out, let's just say you're gonna make 2 million. And then you find out that you can make 20 to 25 million. Well, goddamn it, the 23 million is not gonna make you upset. Did somebody tell you, hey, this is what we're looking at right here? If we do this at this time right here, per this right here, we have the funding for that, and we set the, you can have it on pay-per-view. It don't have to be on a net profit or whatever. And pretty much we set the price point at $84.99. It do this amount of numbers per this. You know what I'm saying? They run the numbers. You're probably gonna make about 20, 25 million. Is that cool? Or you still want to let certain people handle it and get that 2 million, 2.5, 3, whatever. A lot of eyelids was raised, you know what I'm saying, in concern to that. Of course. I look at how people, some black man on here, and I'm glad like YouTube allows you to have space and distance with some of these dudes, because what they've done in the past is they've sold themselves out. You know what I'm saying? I always hear about stuff in Hollywood, people going to the parties, right? Those special parties where actresses and actors get turned out to cross over to another side to prolong or elevate your career, rather, to elevate your career. Now, I feel like a lot of cats on the YTC were the ones in that room. They have pretty much sold themselves out when it comes to the PBC. They call themselves the Justice League, when it comes to the PBC. You know what I'm saying? They're protecting the man that don't even have full fight cards with black fighters on it. You can have a whole card and the undercard is all Hispanic Latino fighters. What is going on? What are we talking about? Right? But they will go through life and limb to lie with no integrity, because they are absolutely under the sheets. They're the ones with both palms, you know what I'm saying, on the end of the bed. They're the ones that's in vicarious positions. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that's looking funny. The way they come out here and lie for the PBC is just telling us that they're unwilling to accept the truth at the end of the day. And I'm glad Bud put it out there that he agreed to everything, but these other individuals, they were coming out talking about why he didn't sign the contract. Why weren't you on Team Bud? Why weren't you at the table talks? You couldn't be at the table talks because you and I are in the same location, afar, remote. So the information that we was collecting, the data and intel we was collecting, was just like everybody else. So for you to say why he didn't sign a contract, because that wasn't what he wanted to do. And also he wanted to make money because he's a prize fighter. And boxing is a what? A B-U-S-ness, business. Okay? Sliding the I in between. It's a business. So within business, you negotiate what you're worth. I don't know what these people are doing. You know what I'm saying? They act like the man was supposed to just sign anything and be laughed at. I thought Deontay Wilder received hate. I think Bud may have received a tad bit more hate when you're talking about the current of animosity and contentiousness that was premeditated. You know what I'm saying? That was put out here by his own, black extremists. And it's unfortunate that he had to go through that to get where he was at. But you got to look at how strong his mind was and how he was able to get through it and make it look easy enough for people to still question, man, how can he do that? Instead of them just giving him love and showing him, respect that he deserves, they still are trying to figure out how did he do it. It has to be wrong. And those individuals, my friend, is something that are people that I never really deal with like that on a personal level. For people who would say, you know what, I'm black just like he is, it don't matter because I'm all about making deals. I'm all about stepping on people's shoulders to get where I need to be. But see, WCS is never going to be your ladder. You know what I'm saying? You're never going to use me as a ladder to get higher and act like you're going to step on my shoulders and I'm going to stand there like a fool and help you get to that point. And then when you get up there, you push the ladder away. Let's go to another one that I feel that's important to highlight something else. And that is seeing Terrence Crawford on CBS. And like I said before, it's good, man. It's one love, man. Salute to Team Crawford over there in Omaha, Nebraska. You've earned it. You did everything you're supposed to do. Shout out to his team. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to his team. They don't get enough, love from the people. But shout out to this whole entire team for putting together a very successful plan. You know what I'm saying? Awesome education, studying, you know what I'm saying? Bouncing ideas off one another, studying, coming up with a plan. Love it, man. Hit the like button if you're in the building. Let's get to this next piece of audio.
In 2 different weight classes. Here's a look at how that fight ended.
And it's not just the jab, the uppercut, and the counter right hook, the left to right, Errol Spence on inline skates, and the referee has intervened.
Now, good morning. How you doing?
The champ
joins us right now. Good morning, Terrence.
Champion.
Wow.
The champ is here. Terrence Crawford joins us right now. Good morning. How you doing?
The champ is here.
Doing great.
I appreciate you joining us now.
Yes.
That epic fight between you and Errol Spence Jr., it's hailed as one of the biggest nights in boxing history, and you dominated. How did that feel?
Man, it felt great, especially against the opponent that I was up against. The hype that's been surrounding that fight for 5 years.
5 years.
The doubt that everybody had against me. And it just was wonderful to finally get that behind me.
So what's next? I mean, there's a lot of matches that people want to see.
Well, first of all, you asked one opening question, and this is CBS, of course. It's good the brother, open it up. Then, they say the champ is here. I like that. But damn, we just gonna comb through 9 rounds? Come on, man. Let's turn up, dog. You know what I'm saying? This is CBS. They asking what's next, people. That's how much power. They pretty much understand what the carnage consisted of. You know what I'm saying? When the first responders came on the scene, they said, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, you just can't comb through 9 rounds. You have to talk about certain things to lead up to that fight. But the good thing about it is that Crawford's going to speak on it himself.
Jermell Charlo is somebody that you've been calling out. He has a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Is that the next opponent that you want to get into the ring with?
Well, I don't know. Right now, I'm taking some time off and enjoying my victory. And
well-deserved.
And seeing what's really on the table, and I'm going to go from there.
Okay.
Take the victory lap, Terrence.
That's right.
Because In the doc, it's really great on Showtime. You said the better prepared man will be successful. And to you, there was no doubt in your mind because Errol also thought that he was a better prepared man too. How did you know? You had such confidence that there at the podium before the fight started, you said, there's going to be a fish fry tonight. It's like you were inviting everybody to
So
come
calm,
over.
Gail.
Yeah, he was so calm, so confident. You knew you had this. How?
Well, I believe in myself and my abilities, and I know I train.
So did Errol. He believed himself in his abilities, yes.
I understand that. Everybody believe in themselves to step in the ring, but I knew deep down in my heart that I worked way harder than him. I just knew it. And I just knew my skills will overcome anything that I was faced at that.
And Tyson once said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
In the face.
Spence had never lost, never been knocked down until that fight. And he said ahead of the fight that his plan was to break your will.
Ooh.
Clearly that did not work out. Where does that will come from and how did it become so ironclad?
Well, I just think it's in me, not on me. You know, some things you're just born with. And I was born with the will to keep going no matter what.
Born not made?
Born not made.
Born not made. Part of you give some of the credit to your mother, and I want to preface this with you and your mother have a very good relationship today. But I was reading the backstory about you, Terrence, and it broke my heart because it says that your mom, when you were a little boy, would pay kids to try to beat you up. And I say try because nobody ever did. She would pay them $10 to beat you up. She would never hug you. She would never say, I love you. She would never encourage you. This was all part of the way to make you tougher. Did that work for you? And how did you feel as a little kid?
Well, my mom, you know, she dealt with different traumas and
in her life.
Yeah, things in her life. So
you see how he just articulated that? You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to black men, we was always, you know, underlined as not having a father in the household. And those black men who just had mothers in the household, they was pretty much, you know, under the iron fist of an individual who's your parent, but they was trying to have two roles. They was trying to have two roles that they was trying to get acclimated to. They was trying to be a father and a mother. And, you know, the appearance don't lie. It's certain things that a mother can do. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things that fathers can do. But me, you know, growing up, I remember being in school on how, you know, certain kids didn't have their fathers in their home. And then when it got to a certain point where they was recognized fathers, it was always more black kids without the father in the household. But in this particular case, he had his mom, and I'm glad they was able to come to a point where she was still around, both, you know what I'm saying? His father and his mother, that they was around to see Terrence Crawford's greatness. I'm glad they was able to coexist enough to be in the same building, to do it for their son. Of course, Terrence is old enough. He's been old enough for quite some time. But yeah, you know, when it came down to blacks in general, not just Terrence Crawford, you know, that was a situation with a broken household. But that doesn't mean you can't succeed. It's plenty successful, you know, entrepreneurs and just successful individuals in life that didn't have both parents in the household. I had both my parents in the household, but still it wasn't no love. It wasn't no I love you. That's real talk. It wasn't no love. You know, in the South, it was different.
that what led her to be that way that she is. You know, I love my mom. I'm a mama's boy. And to hear the things that my mom used to say to me and the little kids that she used to try to get to beat me
you up.
and with the gloves and stuff like that, it just made me more hungry.
More hungry?
You know, hungry, like, man, my mom going against me, I'm gonna prove her wrong. You know, my mom said I can't do this. I'm gonna go do it anyway because she don't
said
believe
I
in
can't.
it. Yeah.
But did it make you angry?
Of course.
It did.
I was angry, but I feed off of that. You know, I feed off of the non-believers. I feed off of the people that say I can't do something when I believe I can. So I think that's something that she knew at an early age because I was so competitive at an early start in my youth. So I think she just used that to, you know,
to motivate you.
To motivate.
Now,
it broke my heart though, Terrence.
Yeah, well, I want to stay there for a second. Yeah. And like Gil said, you guys have a good relationship right now. But the reason I want you to kind of dive a little bit deeper is because there are kids that are dealing with the same type of parenting.
$185 a month, $55 a month.
They don't know why their mom or their dad doesn't validate them or tell them that they're proud of them. They look.
Okay. You remember when WCS was saying that I wish it was more boxers to go to the mainstream, have commercials and have these moments like this on CBS. And you know, that it's good to get sponsorships and try to, you know, expand your brand, so to speak. Try to branch out, try to bear fruit in other branches, in other areas. You know what I'm saying? And this interview right here is just like, now it's turned into an Oprah Winfrey special. You know what I'm saying? You know, it started off good, but now they're just focused on what was said in the household. His mother wasn't in there fighting, but his mother was with him while he was fighting. They're making it into a freaking Oprah Winfrey special right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not really on the topic at hand with the boxing match and everything else, because Gail is used to this. She's about to make me sad. Why did it make you sad? You don't know this dude. I ain't never seen you and him in a picture. You know, WCS is gonna talk his ish regardless, man. Like, keep it on boxing, keep it on the performance, keep it on what led up to that fight, the 5 years that they was talking. You know what I'm saying? The ebbs and flows, as far as, you know, the adversities that you had, the challenges that you was met with, and how you improvised, adapted, and overcame. How you continue to stay focused and lining up, staying locked in with your team. You know what I'm saying? All the hard work and dedication that took place, blood, sweat, and tears, to get where you need to be, to make it look so easy. July 29th. You know what I'm saying? To further solidify your legacy. That's what I want to hear. This is turned into a freaking a show on, you know what I'm saying? A reality show. Like now we in a therapy appointment. You know, I'm like, how many questions are you going to ask the man?
In the mirror, and they don't feel full because they're not getting the same type of love. So what would be your advice to those kids that might be growing up in a similar circumstance as you?
I don't know. It's kind of hard because every kid is different.
Right.
You know, I still deal with childhood trauma from those moments, from me and my mom. And me and my mom, you know, we've talked, we've got into it about it. You know, it's heartbreaking because, you know, that's the woman that birthed you. That's my first love. You know, it's my mom, you know, and for her to treat me the way that she was treating me, you know, not because of she didn't love me, it's because of what she was dealt with.
Right.
Hurt people hurt people. Yeah. And it just like
hurt people. Yeah. And in this case, I would have said, Terrence, you hurt Errol, no doubt. It wasn't that you was hurt. It's that you took everything and you kept building up that armor. You know what I'm saying? Armor isn't necessarily something on the outside. Armor can be something that's from the inside also. For real, because they always talk about components that drive you. You know what I'm saying? That control your decision making. And one of those components is your mind. You know what I'm saying? Is your mind. For real. Even though you hear people say, oh, you got to go with your heart. Your heart is not thinking for you. Your heart is a valve. It's your mind, your overall mind, which is inside. You have to filter through and decipher everything that you think is important and unimportant. Really. But at the end of the day, hey, I'm looking for people to be cheering, laughing, and to be upbeat. And now they turned into a therapy session.
I wouldn't wish that on no kid.
But now you're a father yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what kind of father you are in terms of, are you affectionate with your children? How many children do you have?
You see where I'm going with this? Now, what he experienced with his mom takes us to this point right here. We're able to break the cycle. Like when I was growing up, yes, I got whoopings for situations that I didn't believe was warranted. I thought it was very petty that other adults that was seeing you grew up, they may have felt some type of way about you or your parents. And from the old school, You know what I'm saying? From the old school and how they used to discipline. Other adults used to tell on people, kids. You know, if you was to just sigh, or you just was what they call being a smart aleck, or you was just, you know, being very talkative, talking back, they will go to your parents and sometimes take you with them, right? And they'll tell on you. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, it play out the way it play out, right? But then when we grow up and we have our families, that doesn't mean we went up there and we did the same thing. But that's not the case always. It's some people that never break the cycle and they continue to. But now you're talking about Terrence Crawford's kids. Now all of a sudden we're off boxing and we're talking about a strong-minded, world-class boxer, world-class elite, global, like Toby said, global. He's a global star, man. People know who he is in front of millions. He went in there and did what he did, the first ever. And now we are now marching on this topic of discussion about him as a father and his kids. Like this is where it gets, you know, bad sometime, you know, because Crawford, he probably felt it was going to be pretty much talking about his team. You know what I'm saying? But these shows like this, they got to bring in the ratings. They got to bring in controversy. And whenever you hear Gail, whenever you see Gail in there, man, I swear to God, you can expect the storm to roll in quick, man. Seriously, you can expect the storm to roll in quick. Now Crawford is talking about what he is as a father. You know what I'm saying? Are you married? If you ain't married, then why you haven't, you know what I'm saying? I can only imagine. Let's get it.
I have 7.
Are you affectionate with your children? Do you encourage your children? Do you tell your children you love them? Do you think the way you were raised is a way to raise children? I guess is a better question.
I wouldn't say that, you know, because me and my children is way different than the way I was brought up. My dad left when I was 1 year old. He was in the Navy. He'd come in and leave, so he really wasn't there.
You seem more active,
so
I'm loving and caring with you.
I'm there. I'm there for everything. You know, no matter what's the.
They say Crawford seemed more active, coming from people who really wasn't keeping some binos on Crawford's career. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't really looking through those lenses from afar, zooming in on his accomplishments and failures. They really wasn't. But you know, they saying that Crawford seems more active. How is that? Just how do you know how active he is? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how long you been following the man? But Crawford's handling like a G. Real talk. He's handling this like a G. I like it. You know what I'm saying, brother? I like the composure that you're showing and taking these tough questions, man.
Situation or circumstances. If I'm in training camp and my kid have a birthday or they have an event, I'm leaving training camp to be with my kids, because those moments only last one time.
For sure.
And they're going to remember that, and they're going to always remember, and they're going to always be able to say, no matter what my dad was doing, he was always there.
Yeah.
So let's get back to boxing for a quick second before we get out of here. Will you go up to middleweight?
Junior middleweight.
Who you go to junior middleweight? Yeah. I mean, to people that don't really know the sport, they think, oh, it's just a few pounds.
Yeah.
But 5, 10 pounds make a difference, a big difference. So would you go up to junior middleweight?
Of course.
He can do anything, Nate.
But
that's a fact.
What's it like to have a perfect record, 40? You've never lost. What is that like? And do you feel pressure to maintain this record?
I don't feel pressure.
You don't? Okay.
You know, I just feel as if I got a bullseye on my back now, because
that's a fact.
Once you at the top of Mount Rushmore, everybody wants your position. So, you know, that makes me even more hungry, because I know they coming.
Terrence Crawford, undisputed champ, greatest fighter in the world.
Bring it on.
Thank you very much.
When you buy from my part.
I don't know what the listeners, I don't know what your grade is on there. It was good that he was on CBS, but they could have did a lot better, because they ventured off into, you know, how his mother didn't show him love or say she loved him or whatever, how the parental type dynamic didn't work. It wasn't as effective in the way she attempted to raise, and then how it bleeds over to Terrence really as a father. You know what I'm saying? Really didn't mention anything that they did research on for him as a father. You know, I bet as a father, you learn from that, and you're an outstanding father at the end of the day. You learn, you know what I'm saying? You've broken the cycle. You know, I mean, it's outside of boxing. It really is a distractor at the end of the day. You know, when it comes down to it, because I was really looking forward to hearing them talk about more of, you know, how him and Errol Spence became rivals without even stepping into the ring prior to. You know what I'm saying? How was so much information out there on both of these fighters, on how people was taking sides. You know, what motivated him to go in here. I know Bud said he knew he was the better man. He knew he was going to go in there, but a little bit more into it from this the people that was from CBS was just to say, you know, how difficult it was just waiting for this date to come, being that you said that they was doubting you and everything. How difficult was it for you to just be patient and wait to that night where you was able to ring walk, split the ropes, get introduced, and then fighters instructions and hear the first bell? How much anxiety did that cause you as a fighter? Being that you've been in the sport since 08, you know, I would have rather heard that, but it is what it is, man. You know, the bigger aspect of it is the fact that he is in the record books. And at the end of the day, you know, these interviews out there can't be perfect, man. Let me get to this chat. Shout out to Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, AK Showtime Shaw. Salute to you, brother. Salute WCS in the chat. Yeah, Bradley clowned them on the plan. Yeah, man, they had a plan and it didn't work. We got 62 likes in here, y'all. Can you do me a favor and hit that like button? It was, you know, it was like close to 100 in the building now. Hit the like button for me. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, some more, the OG on deck. What it do, Bruce? So I'm about to get to what I said, what I played earlier. Okay. If y'all was listening, I put up there Crawford no rematch. There's only so many characters that you can place in the title. So my caveat is the Crawford no rematch details just a short snippet of him not wanting the rematch in 2022. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want the rematch. This rematch business was all Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? They wanted a rematch. They wanted to have a second chance. And it's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Maidana was able to get a rematch. Floyd Mayweather had some infamous rematches with solid opponents. Not a lot of them, but you know, opponents that he had a rematch with, and he made it look fairly easy, you know, in picking up the bag twice. But yet, like I've said previously, it's a lot of fighters that don't want rematches. The reason why I highlighted Bud Crawford no rematch is because now this is the topic of discussion. And I'm letting people know that it's not coming from Bud Crawford that he wanted the rematch. He didn't want it last year. He didn't want it this year. Spence want that rematch. They're not the one that's confident enough to step back in the square. That's where I'm at with it. They're not confident enough to step back in the square, step in the square one time and get it done. They wasn't confident. They knew it was going to be tough. You know what I'm saying? They knew what was going on. They knew. But let me download this so you can see something that was sent to me. All right. And you know, I feel that I say why not, you know, put it out there? Because people send you things, and you know, you have individuals that can screenshot this all they want. That's cool. Do what you want. But I hear people voices talking about, well, let's try to sit up here and go treasure hunting. Let's see if we can treasure hunt under malicious circumstances. Let's try to go ahead and see whatever we can find about this fight that doesn't line up with how Crawford performed, you know what I'm saying, and giving him full credit for that. Let's see what we can find. And that's what you've been seeing out here. A desperate attempt to further tarnish what Crawford has worked so hard for. And it's unfortunate because those people look like me. You know what I'm saying? Those people look just like, you know, any other black person that you see. That's who they look like. And they're hell-bent on going out here making a point. Toby said, I got a dip in a minute. Family matters. I'll catch back in a while. Peace out. No doubt, for sure. Shout out to Coach. True Means Today, USA Boxing on deck. Appreciate you, Coach. He said, don't forget to hit the like button, fam. I appreciate that, Coach. Nelly Content Entertainment on deck. The plan backfired for real. It absolutely did. You know, and it absolutely did. They had some type of plan. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about how they was planning on carrying out whatever plan that was. You know what I'm saying? Strategically. That's why I mentioned, you know, what I do about the preparation for this fight. It was so lopsided. You know what I'm saying? It was so heavy on one side, as if the criticism should be easy. It should be easy for you to finger point in that direction and say, no, Team Spence, you didn't do enough. You underestimated the enemy. That is not part of what we read in The Art of War. You know what I'm saying? The Art of War doesn't give us that type of content. We're not reading that type of behavior in The Art of War, you know, to basically take your opponent for granted. You know what I'm saying? The Art of War give you a whole different mindset on how you should approach going in there to combat your adversary. You know what I'm saying? What's your thought process should be when you're going in there to combat somebody. This wasn't it. This was heavy. This was extremely heavy, y'all. One team pretty much read that book and took heed to it. Team Spence, not so much. They didn't take heed to it, and you saw how that played out. Errol Spence became the easiest elite opponent on Terrence Crawford's resume when it came to performance value. You know what I'm saying? And the wild part about it was that Bud Crawford's been making these guys look extremely easy, but yet when he gets Errol Spence, he make it look easier to the point where they want to go treasure hunt and try to find out if they can find those little hidden nuggets that no one else knew. Well, I got one for you. I have a hidden nugget that was sent to me some time ago. I just never put it out there. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. But you can take it as you are. I don't care what you think about what I'm about to drop. You feel me? But you can read, right? Y'all can read. And this is, I'm not saying this is nothing confirmed, but if you listen to what I said about the Texas, when he leaves Texas, this shit gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult. It's not gonna be as smooth. And look, I'm only making this point because he was running up Mount Charleston over there in Vegas. He was still trying to get tidied up and get online leading up to this fight. It wasn't as easy as people thought it would be. But peep this out though. I'm gonna let this nugget sit out here. Now, this is not anything that I typed up. All right. This is just information. This is just information. You can take it however you feel like it. People always trying to hold WCS accountable when you got people out here, you know, putting out shit that's far from the truth. Listen, I've read Victor Conte's situation, the tweet that he put out. All right. We knew what Victor Conte put on that tweet about VADA testing. Then you have people talk about VADA testing, right? It was no VADA testing on this fight. People are confused as to looking up a fighter and seeing a check mark on VADA and them actually being signed up for actual testing. You know what I'm saying? 24 hours, 365 days a year. It's a difference. But But check this out right here and tell me what you think. It says Spence needed extra time to do VADA testing versus Mikey Garcia. Garcia people wanted 120 days, and Spence people got 60 days instead. We all know Conte on record validating Spence nipple size with PED side effects called gynecomastia. Spence using agents to cut weight, no doubt. I can bet Spence will not agree to VADA until he is clean, which is normally occurs within a 60-day window before fighting. PBC fighters have avoided this is not me writing this. I'm reading it. PBC fighters have avoided VADA religiously since Floyd Mayweather used USADA to make his opponents fight clean, while he got to freely use steroids, HGH, and EPO, and so allegedly. Now, this is not something that I wrote. This was something that was given to me. And notice it not just talk about Spence. It talks about TBE. You know what I'm saying? And this is not something, this is all allegedly. This is something that was sent to me quite a while ago from somebody important. Seriously. And you have to think to yourself, what do I believe out of this? You know what I'm saying? What is this, what is this deal? How did it all come to now? You know what I'm saying? Because I hear all these people assuming that Terrence Crawford was on the juice. You know what I'm saying? When he put out that picture, he was shredded. They was out here talking about he put on too much muscle mass and he's going to be too slow. And Errol Spence is still going to be able to close down on him. He's not going to have enough cardio. He's going to get knocked out. What do you think about this, man? Allegedly. What do you think about that? I'll show you another picture too. Just let me know what you think about that right there. Does it have any relevance? Huh? I'm gonna show you a picture, somewhat what Victor Conte was talking about. All right. This is a picture of the inflammation or the swelling around the nipples. You can see that Spence has some tissue. You know what I'm saying? Emphasizing the nipple tissue around there when he has both hands up. This is allegedly, from what I believe Victor Conte was talking about, who's been on record as saying that he believed Manny Pacquiao been juicing. So you're tying all this together, right? Because people are going to try to come for you. But yet you need to come for Victor Conte, because he's the one that's an expert at seeing this. He's the one that's been on record as talking about Manny Pacquiao. He suspect him of been juicing his entire career. You know what I'm saying? And then when Floyd wanted to do Olympic style testing, Manny didn't want to do it. And also they was trying to make it seem like that Manny didn't have testing 3 fights over there in Vegas or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, they was talking about the Errol Spence tissue that's around his nipple, because most of the time when you flex, you shouldn't have that type of tissue around the nipple part when you're shredded, when you're that shredded. But I'm not an expert. I'm just going off other information that I've seen on this when it came to the paid accusations pertaining to this article right here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just wondering how much validity does it have? How much truth to it? How much truth does it have in this? Because like I said, we've heard Victor Conte be on record is talking about this. Seriously. I mean, he's been on record making some stern accusations about some fighters, and people just brush it under the rug. But all of a sudden, Crawford goes in here and defeats a fighter who was just praised, right? Now, peep this out. I said this already. It's amazing how you had so many voices ranting and raving and praising and jumping up and down on how Errol Spence went in there off an accident and beat up Ugas. Nobody was looking for loaded gloves or nothing. Nobody was looking for any of that. They was just basically gloating. They were saying, oh man, he beat him up. Look at his eyes. Dude is the eye collector. So much to the fact that Errol Spence went out here and had a mouthpiece made with an eye on it, y'all. He had a mouthpiece made with an eye on it. So with that said, right, I did not hear content creators trying to figure out if Errol Spence was on pads or not. You notice that? Like, if this man is coming off an accident and he had one fight with Danny Garcia and he was able to make weight and he looked great, and I'm only bringing this, making a point because Crawford was like, yeah, people are going to make excuses of him coming off an accident, but he went up there and beat up Danny Garcia. Facts, right? Not only that, he went in there and fought like an elite fighter against Shadinas Ugas. Facts. He swelled the man eye up, supposedly fractured some ribs or something like that. Okay. He still was on his feet when the fight ended. But now we get to the point of the delirium, the acute delirium of these individuals who continue to not accept what they just witnessed. They was praising and jumping up around doing thumbnail after thumbnail. I mean, I got audio after audio of them talking about, oh man, he's going in there putting guys in the hospital. He's the eye collector and all that. But Bud, when he started beating up Spence, and I guess it wasn't enough rounds to the way Spence, they wasn't looking at the accuracy of his jabs. It wasn't enough rounds to put down, it wasn't enough rounds so they could say, okay, I can see him beating him up and he looking like that. But Crawford was damn near perfect in how he was executing those sharp, stabbing jabs, y'all. Sharp, accurate. You know what I'm saying? Those targeted jabs was absolutely on point. Like the hand on a clock. He couldn't miss. What did Snoop say? He can't miss, man. And Spence started to redden. He started to get swollen. And they was looking at this shit play out. They say, damn, he looking bad. Oh, shit. But you know how it goes when you have blinded, individuals. They say, oh, he can come back. He can come back. Stay in there. You can come back. You can do it. Stay in there. You can come back. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. And it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then they're going to try to accuse the man of being on pads after it's all over with. They are attempting to accuse him of being on pads. But when I'm mentioning that things will be quite different once he leaves the Texas Roadhouse footprint and have to go into Vegas, it's going to be different. I made mention to certain people on what I believed, on why the concessions was given. I believe that Team Spence did not want bother testing. I'm going off what Victor Conte said, that why is so hush-hush over there with the drug testing with PBC, right? And then all the other criteria, it's so much criteria content out there already about this situation. When I hear the A side, being that I've learned my alphabets a long time ago, right? I say, why would the A side, why would a person who felt that they did everything that they needed to by collecting these 3 belts, they've taken the easy route, y'all. They did everything that sit up here and have people, I'm talking about thousands upon thousands of times mention this shit in debate. He took the easy route because it was more productive business-wise, and he had to do what he had to do to collect the belts to increase leverage as the A side. He had to do all this shit in one division, y'all, knowing that Crawford had already did 2 divisions, already became 2 division champion, right? He had to put all that shit together to go the easy route. He chose to go the easy route, and I told people that the easy route ruined the shit out this man. It ruined him because of the person that was at the end. The person that was at the end. You know how Boys the Men say, "End of the road." Now my voice is a little graspy. It's not like I was on stage or anything. End of the road, and I can't let go. See, you know, he was at the end of the road. There was no way that he can let go because he needed that WBO bars. You know what I'm saying? He needed the WBO. And look, at the end of the road, it wasn't Danny Garcia, y'all. It wasn't Yardinas Ugas. It wasn't Manny Pacquiao. It was Terrence motherfucking Crawford. He was the one at the end of the road, y'all. He was the one at the end of the road. The easy route ruined this man because he didn't take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? He didn't maximize the severity of the end of the road. He knew it was going to mess him up. If he would have had a in-house and make it so bad, he did end up signing a 2-fight deal, not a promotional deal. But the wild part about it is that the person that was at the end of the road wasn't there to basically co-sign whatever he wanted to happen. Like EJ's the A side and whatever he says goes. This guy Crawford wasn't at the end of the road just waiting around on Spence. He knew that Spence had to come to him since on the manifesto was the welterweight undisputed. So on that manifesto, you had to touch down. You had to deploy the landing gear, and you had to come see this man. People gonna say, no, W says he didn't have to come see him because you know he signed with PBC. Listen to me. Errol Spence gave this man concessions, y'all. Errol Spence gave this man concessions, and he was the A side. You know why he was the A side? Because all I heard, A side, 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 A side. You know, that's all you heard. Motherfuckers mixing that shit. A side. You know what I'm saying? He was the A side. And then you start hearing at the presser, I made the fight happen. I made the fight happen. Okay. What are you talking about? Okay. Give me some to brag on you about. Because it's good the fight being, you know, made happen. Y'all was able to talk to each other, you know. And then I started hearing, yeah, I started hearing that like it was Morse code. He started telling us information. Can you repeat over? Repeat over. Do you copy? Send again. Retransmit over. I started hearing him say things like, the negotiations was grueling. They didn't think I would agree to what his demands were. Then you hear Spence say, I gave him the concessions. Somebody asked about the bet. And I even brought this up, y'all. I said, what about the bet? What about the $1 million? Because Spence said we can bet 100,000. Let's bet $1 million. So they shook on it. He said, yeah, I gave him the $1 million and then some. What? What did the A side do that? Why? And then automatically, I was slamming the red flag button. Bang, bang. Look. This what was going off in my mind, right? You know what I'm saying? When I heard him say that, I say, no, not the A-side granddaughter, the Dundada, not the A-side Dundada. How in the hell are you going to give Crawford anything? How? How are you going to give Crawford anything? He's not the A-side. You know what I'm saying? He's not the A-side. This is what I was hearing. The alarm was going off in my head. I said, hell no. Stop it. Right there, I knew something was up. I say Crawford wants to fight you. But why are you acting like you're begging him? And the only way so you can fight for undisputed, the only way that you can get him in the ring now is that you have to give. No, that wasn't the case. Crawford agreed to everything last year per his words, 100% facts. And he said, y'all moved it to 2023. So we all know Crawford wanted to fight. But coming full circle, hearing the A-side do something that I don't think we've ever witnessed to this extent. When you're talking about giving him $1 million+ of a side bet that never materialized due to the contractual problems that was going on between both teams. You know what I'm saying? Who does that? Who would sit up here and say, I gave this man, and then the person that was asking the question said, well, how much was it? And then Spence said, well, you know the bet, it's the amount that's on the video. He said, you take that and then some. So he gave this man concessions over $1 million+ that these cats don't want to talk about. And but when they do mention it, some of them, they'll say, oh, Crawford just going through the man's like they the victims. You saw a lot of that happen to the lead up of this fight. But nobody is talking about why the concessions. And I went out and I'm just putting my thoughts together, and I said, you know what? I'm looking at it like this. There was no way that Spence was going to hop in the ring last year. He wasn't in shape. He has other things going on. I put little puzzle pieces together, and I have to bring myself to a mental picture. You know what I'm saying? On what I think played out, why it played out the way it did. So him providing him with the concessions, I'm assuming there was other underlying issues that was going on for him to get himself in shape. Also, not just from a physical standpoint, but we have to understand the calisthenics that was going on and getting him prepared for Vegas. That was a different type of calisthenics. He was leaving the nesting egg of Texas, where he was comfortable. You know, the format is hooked up. He's good. You know, he can pretty much do what he wants in Texas. He had to go to Vegas now on the whole different rules, whole different eyeballs and shit. You playing by somebody else's rules. Now he had to do things different. Things that he know he's been able to get away with in Texas, but he wouldn't be able to get away with in Vegas. I'm just saying. And was I wrong? Was I wrong? Did this fight have drug testing? Was I wrong? Did he have a tough time getting down to that weight in Texas? Was he on the heels running? Were people concerned? Was I wrong? It's just people don't want to have the cojones to speak on it, because they busy up here, you know, sitting in a clown suit, and they want to pick and choose on what criticism they want to give Crawford, but they don't want to talk about, you know, what doesn't seem right with Spence. These are the same cats that was up here saying that Spence is the A-side, did all the heavy lifting, and he deserve. Crawford don't deserve this. He don't deserve that. But when it came down to all these sources that was so rapid last year in 2022, none of these dudes knew anything in 2023. They still don't know. They still going off what they believe is this, that, and the other. But I said, when he leave Texas, good old Texas, and have to go over there to Vegas, it was going to be different, buddy. And it sure enough was different. It was so different that the people are now saying he was weight drained. How? He looked less ripped and shredded for a fight against Crawford than he did with Ugas. For Ugas' fight, he was super duper shredded, walking with his shoulders back, head up, head nod straight to the front, walking like a warrior. All the pictures that was leading up to Vegas, his shit was looking at the ground. That's when you have a moment with yourself. You start thinking, it's like, damn, this is going to be a tough road, but I got to do it. 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 He got to keep telling me, I got to do it. 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 I'm talking about allegedly. I'm not saying he was on anything. I'm not saying he's on anything. I just feel like that may be a category that certain individuals say, oh, I don't want to touch that. Well, you don't have to touch it. All the little bits and pieces are out there for you. People up here ranting and raving to my, oh my God, he did this. They celebrating the damage that was inflicted on Ugas. No one's looking to see what his gloves are tampered with and loaded. No one was questioning was he clean fighter. I said plenty of times, go check on VADA and see when the last time Errol Spence was enrolled in VADA. And people wanted to leave that shit alone. It was like before he went in there for the Sean Porter fight. Pretty much. Now he's up here in Texas. Look at all the fights he had in Texas, even though Sean Porter was outside Texas now. Okay. Look at the fights he had in Texas. Look how his conditioning was prior to stepping in there with Ugas. And look how he looked leading up to the fight with Crawford. He had 15 months to get ready. And you trying to tell me all those people that was in his circle, they couldn't get him in the same shape that he was in Ugas? No, people. Why? Because the whole entire format was different. They had to take a different route. You know what I'm saying? They had to go off-road in the gravel to get this shit done. It wasn't going to be smooth paved. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't going to be a smooth ride. And that's exactly what they experienced. Shout out to Carlos Rosado on deck. WCS, we on deck. Yes, sir. I don't think the fight is happening December. Maybe next year. Errol got beat up bad. Shout out to Omega on deck. Bomb Squad to this date. Crawford won fair and square. Talk to him, man. You know what I'm saying? Salute WCS. Everyone in the chat. Don, salute. Is there no rematch or we don't need the rematch? I'm saying that Crawford is not the one that wanted the rematch, period. He is not the one that wanted the rematch, period. Crawford wasn't on board with the rematch, y'all. Spence wanted the rematch. They wasn't sure. They wanted to have another opportunity. And look, the wild part about it is that think about all the concessions that Crawford got when he didn't have the titles. I'm talking about he was just a WBO champion. Imagine the power that you have to have in accommodating somebody for them to give you over $1 million in concessions and a coin flip. You all are smart, intellectually advanced human beings, adult appropriate. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking to you as adults and also as a boxing aficionados, right? Why would it play out the way it did? How can Crawford get all these concessions? It had to be something drastic for them to say, well, if there ain't gonna be no testing, and I'm cool with the testing, that's you all. You all don't want it. Well, you're gonna have to come up. You're gonna have to come off that bread. You're gonna have to come off that bread, period. You're gonna have to come off the bread. And then get a coin toss, which we didn't see the coin. The shit went up under the table and the cameras didn't even get a chance to really see what was on the coin. Mike just said it was heads. You know what I'm saying? Nobody looked down. I didn't see Spence, break his knees and get up on there. No, I gotta see it. It was no expression. It was just, okay, it's heads. I don't know if it was heads prior to sliding up under the table. I don't know if David Blaine was in the building and he got them use his magical gravitation and pull that shit with his open palm. Boom. You know, he pulled that shit up under the table. I don't know, y'all. All I know is this was a talk for a lot of people about the coin flip. Why does Crawford deserve a coin flip? You know what I'm saying? Why does he deserve concessions? Maybe the aerosexuals, if you just take a little bit of time to figure this out, right? You know, we have plenty of individuals worried about so much other, just collateral information that they're trying to come up with as if it's going to change the results. Maybe y'all should ask yourselves, why did Crawford get all those concessions? Why? You need to ask yourself that. It's a very important curiosity. You know what I'm saying? Is there everybody said once his jab is out the way, error was done. Yeah, that's pretty much what Crawford had to the people. You know what I'm saying? We took his jab away, and that pretty much happened in about, the first round, so to speak. You know, when he was filling it out, I mean, how easy can that playbook be? How easy? I know this. Look, I know I say this is a one-on-one sport, right? But Crawford then went in there like it was a team sport. The reason why I say that is that the information that Bomac was giving Crawford, he was listening, and you can see it being executed in the playbook. Out the playbook, it was being executed right off what they was assessing each and every round, man. He was executing that shit. Like Crawford made boxing, which is a mono sport. He made it seem like it was a team sport. He made it seem like he was listening to the plays. He was listening to the assessment when they took them at the end of the round. They had that 60 seconds. You know what I'm saying? He was listening, bro. It was bad. It was bad. It's bad for Spence. Salute WCS, stay on their necks. No doubt. No doubt. Real talk. Spence been done forever, respectfully. But hey, what do I know? Well, it's a lot that he's gonna have to come up with for next fight. Because you heard people like Roy Jones say that he believes Spence need a tune-up. 2 tune-ups, not 1 tune-up. 2. Plural. 2. You know what I'm saying? 2. And they're going to be homeless for a little bit because they bet so much money, and they pretty much say, okay, my insurance is up to date, my car payment's up to date, and the back seat ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? They find out the back seat and the trunk ain't that bad, and they out there sleeping in the trunk. Summer is dwindling down just a little bit, still hot in certain areas, but some of these people are having the opportunity to come back down to room temperature, even though they're distraught right now. They lost a lot of shit, and they had the opportunity to replay the fight on their phone. They had a chance to look at the epilogue, and they saying to themselves, damn, from seeing everybody's reaction and seeing how easy Crawford made it look, I don't know if he should go back in there immediately in December. I don't know. I really can't get myself to co-sign on that. At the end of the day, the shit boils down to colorism and self-hate. I.e., top-ranked Toby Curtis of 78 Sports. I mean, speaking about that right now, I'm really trying to talk about why Crawford was able to, have Spence, the A side, accommodate him like he the A plus side. You feel me? Like, it was simply the A plus side. You had the A side in Spence, and you had the A plus side in Crawford. People can say, well, from what we understand, Errol Spence still made more money. Listen to me. Leading up to the fight, when somebody give you $1 million+ in concession, there's no way you can be considered the B side. There's no way that if your guarantee money is leveled out, you know what I'm saying? Like you land a new driveway, like you got fresh cement, and you're smoothing out that top layer. How can you be considered the B side? How can you say, yeah, give them the coin flip, and then you complain about it? You agreed to it. And then when they coin flip, you lose. You lose. That wasn't Crawford's backyard. You feel me? That wasn't Crawford's backyard, man. Like Spence may potentially would have had more fans in there than Crawford. You had one of the most powerful men in the National Football League on deck to see. Like he flew in on his PJ to see who? The same guy who was in there, Carlos Ocampo, the first time the general public was able to see Jerry Jones step in the ring and found out that, damn, Jerry Jones is supporting Errol Spence Jr. Wow. Not only that, people's more. We was able to see the video with an interview where once the fight was announced, he went over to the Dallas Cowboys media perch, and he was up there with a small collective group of media segues, and he did the entire freaking interview to speak about the facility and partially talk about his fight. And once again, he was censored. He could not mention Bud Crawford's name. He was censored. Just like when Bud Crawford walked in there for the first presser and they say he was a 2-division champion. They left TBC promotions off the banner. They was taking subtle shots. They was taking subtle shots because certain people was upset. Allegedly, it was the Grand Poobah himself, Mr. Heyman, who was upset that he didn't have control over starving these fighters out for one of the biggest fight and stopping this fight from even happening. Because a lot of people over there, from my understanding, knew that the results was going to be what it was. They knew the results was going to be what it was, people. They knew it. They just didn't know how the results was going to play out, y'all. They knew. You know what I'm saying? Look, they had everything. They was imagining, they was thinking about it. You know, they was uneasy. They knew the results was going to be a little bit ill. They knew it was going to be ill. They just didn't know it was going to be illmatic. They didn't know the results was going to be illmatic. They say this is different. Illmatic, y'all. This is not something that we see all the time. Like, this is not a mundane type of results that we get of a fight of this magnitude. It ain't, y'all. They didn't know it was going to be illmatic. The acerbic aftertaste is still in their mouths, y'all. They have that licking their lips. Oh shit! Let me get some to drink. I can't get this aftertaste out of my mouth. God damn, it sucks. They got that acerbic taste in their mouth, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's not that salt. It's not that bitter salt. It's more like this different type of aftertaste, like tree bark, like you was eating a bowl of tree bark. You know what I'm saying? With some old fish oil in there. From all that damn fish we was cooking, you was eating tree bark and some old cooking grease. You know what I'm saying? You was got your spoon, stirring it up and shit. Stirring up, put some freaking some other damn pepper in there or something. Oh, it was just all nasty. All nasty. They just didn't know how the shit was gonna play out. That's why they feel the way they feel right now, y'all. I can't make this up. And if you feel some type of way about the alleged, ped situation with Spence and what you read, do your own research. I'm not saying that that's what happened. All I'm saying is it's a lot of areas where I said it was going to be bad. I gave you one nugget. I gave you one line of the departure. I said it's not going to be easy for him to move outside that state of Texas. I remember being on the platform and I said that in front of some people, and they tried to cut me off. Rachel, are you saying that the Texas Commission is somewhat what do you think? I didn't say anything, but you felt some type of way about it, and guess what? It didn't look too good. That shit ain't as tranquil as you want it to be, huh? It wasn't as tranquil as you want it to be, huh? They can't understand it. They was thinking for some apparent reason when it came down to this fight happen, they was gonna be able to conceal everything, like it was a concealed carry. They gonna hold all the firepower underneath the clothing. Oh man, we got weapons that you ain't never seen before, man. We gonna make this shit happen, man. We done went through it this front and back to front. God damn it, left to right and right to left. Everything we done took care of everything. They was running around here with a conceal, like they was safe keeping the weapons of mass destruction for freaking Terrence Crawford. They actually had people believing, like, as long as we keep on convincing them that we're gonna go in there and break them and we're gonna treat them like Conte. If they kept on prophesizing this shit, y'all, they felt that it would play out just the way, just to get enough people into the goddamn eulogy. This is what they wanted to happen. They say, you know what? I mean, this is Spence, right? Spence actually believing this shit. If they can get enough people to believe it, then that's where we at. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at with it. We it's all about the numbers. It's all about the numbers. Let me read you something right quick. Off this Boxing News article, right? It said it was a brilliant performance from Crawford, who dropped Spence in round 2 and twice more in round 7. The fight was ultimately stopped in round 7 when the referee. You know what I do when I do Boxing News 24. I always like to point out the individuals that are smoking heavy. Look, I just had to zip this up a little bit for some entertainment, right? It was a brilliant performance from Crawford, who dropped Spence in round 2 and twice more in round 7. The fight was ultimately stopped in round 7 when the referee mercifully waved off the Bud was really pouring it on. I always love to highlight damn Boxing News 24 because they are era written. Like the plague, they are era written. Discrepancies like I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? It goes on to say, indeed, to date, there have only been 9 men who have become undisputed in any weight class. Right? The first being Bernard Hopkins, the Godfather modern 4-belt era, who first earned the unique distinction middleweight, beating Oscar De La Hoya. Other members of their exclusive club, Jermaine Taylor at middleweight, Crawford at 140, Oleksandr Usyk cruiserweight, Josh Taylor at 140, Canelo Alvarez at 168, Jermell Charlo at 154, Devin Haney at lightweight, Naoya Inoue at bantamweight, and finally Bud Crawford once again, this time in the prestigious and historically rich welterweight division. On top of all that, Crawford made a very strong case as the very best pound-for-pound boxer in the world today, although Inoue and Usyk are still very much a big part of the discussion. Says who? You know what I'm saying? So, you have people that's out here that's trying to highlight Crawford's of being that, he kind of made history at 142. In the 4-belt era, was he the first? You know what I'm saying? So we just can't say, well, what we've been able to see up to this point, July 29th, that both of his undisputed runs wasn't special. They was absolutely special. He may not have been the first undisputed fighter at the 147 pounds, but in the 4-belt era and the first to do it in 2 divisions. That's what make it beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's unreal, man, how they unaccepting. They refuse to accept the results. Those around Crawford here in Omaha deserve a pat on the back for somehow keeping Bud in the gym and motivated all these years. Absolutely, man. They should. I mean, because it was a team effort. Like I said before, like I always talk about boxing being a one-on-one sport, but you know, Team Crawford made it seem like it was a team sport. Why? Because the stage, you know, the stage presence that they showed, you know, just Bomac, you know, acting like he was the Black Belichick. Bomac says, sit back and watch. But prior to that, he said, no more hiding. Words that will forever go down in history. When you look over and tell your compeer, yeah, you have champion fighters in your stable. So as I, but it's levels to this. No more hiding. No more hiding. He told him, no more hiding, bro. Sit back and watch. You have never went up against me nor my staff. Profound. He put it out there. You can't touch me. You may have champions in your stable, but you ain't went up against me. And it showed. It showed, y'all. Absolutely it did. It absolutely did. He devoured that man. He devoured any type of experience that he felt, him being Derrick James, that he felt that would basically surpass, you know, any doubt that people may have had. He surpassed it. People might have thought, you know, looking at Bomac, well, I want to talk more about where he looked rather than where he think. He went back there. He said, I told him. They want to talk about Big Macs. I eat knowledge. Man, that was profound, man. That dude definitely on a whole nother stratosphere. Yeah, they're pushing that narrative, painting that story. I'm glad Bud is getting the love and recognition he deserves. Yeah, for sure. You're saying that, well, this didn't happen. This was the old school way. Bud's training know what works and don't work. This goes way back. Yeah, that's well said. He knows what works and don't work. They know what works and don't work. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have trainers whom were world champions back in the day. They don't have to be walking around saying, hey, my trainer was a world champion. Everybody can't be Buddy McGirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, my trainers are champions. Multiple champions. In order for you to succeed as a trainer. No. You can have someone that never even boxed that go in here and be a damn good trainer. We have coaches in other professional sports who never truly played the sport, but they're coaches of the sport. In order for you to be a coach, you just have to know how to be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? You have to know how to be a teacher. How are you going to be able to be a teacher? You have to study the game. You have to know how to play the game. How are you going to play the game is by studying and getting people to believe in you. You know what I'm saying? And the way you teaching them, they're seeing the results. And Team Crawford, the results is what they've been working on behind the scenes, inside, you know what I'm saying, inside those closed doors. And they're seeing productivity play out in front of the general public. It doesn't get any better than that on how they did it. Like, let's just put it this way. What if Team Crawford would have went in there and they struggled, right? Let's just say he has, because they love talking about the Igor Kavalauskas moment. What if he had a Kavalauskas moment, right? What if he had that moment where Spence was able to get a knockdown 2 or 3 on Crawford, and then Crawford came back in the 8th and 9th round to close the show? What do you think they would be talking about? We want a rematch. We want a rematch. Oh my God. the Rolodex will not have any sleep. They will be spinning that bitch so rematch. He almost did it, y'all. He almost did it. I told you Crawford was chinny. Crawford's chinny. Oh my God, he almost did it. They'll be replaying the knockdowns. See, we knew Gamboa had on. Gamboa did it. Kavaliauskas did it. Spence knocked him down. But the fight was stopped. They wouldn't have been able to see anything else except Crawford being knocked down, y'all. They don't even have one moment. Eesh, God damn. They rather sit up here and denounce this man's victory based off lies. You know what I'm saying? Based off fabricated lies, just pretty much saying that there's no way. Per what I think, I'm not a professional in boxing, right? Based off what I say and my stupidity and idiotic behavior, I'm gonna say it was something more. I have to look at the gloves being loaded. He's on steroids, even though PBC was pretty much the one that wanted the rematch. PBC, they didn't want the damn VADA testing. You got to ask yourself, why? You know what I'm saying? Why now? Why didn't they want all this shit? Like, why didn't you want all of it? You got it. You got it. No drug testing, none of that shit. So why wasn't the results different? Why wasn't the results different, y'all? Do I need to submit a request for service so I can get reimbursed due to my counseling ability to make sure that, you know, when I'm speaking to the aerosexuals because of their acute impairment, can I get reimbursed for this shit? Because y'all not going to change it, man. Y'all not going to change any of that. You know what I'm saying? I love it, man. Y'all continue to come up and make yourselves look like you're desperate. You know what I'm saying? If Errol Spence would have knocked down Crawford one time, you would hear people up here an outcry for a rematch. They wouldn't have been talking about no roids. But once again, Crawford outdid himself. He outperformed. He did, man. He outperformed so much to the fact that they think this man is some type of superhero now. They're saying that he did it so well. There's no way that we can consider him to be mortal when it comes to this boxing game, because we thought the real Superman was Errol Spence. That's the role. Y'all let him walk around here and fly all these narratives over to you, and you flew him around, and you like, oh yeah, he's the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Yeah, he's that guy. Texas raised me. He's that guy. He's done got around being a manufactured champion, knowing that he had that one last title at the end of the road. And they took that man for goddamn granted. If that ain't one of the biggest fuck ups, seriously, if that isn't one of the biggest F ups in boxing history, when you have a team, you have a coach that don't watch film, and you have a coach that underestimates your opponent, and you have a coach and a fighter that is co-signing that fighter has not fought nobody, and they feel that they've done enough in training to go in here and beat this fighter. And both of them was wrong. Not only was both of them was wrong, but they just didn't want to give Crawford his credit, his just due. Yeah, it's no excuses, this, that, and that. Just didn't want to give him his credit. So much, as I just mentioned, Derek James would say, switch hitting ain't got shit to do with nothing. Nobody care about that. They need to make a new super heavyweight division. Derrick James was more focused on other things to the point where he had to do one more act of desperation, y'all. And y'all know what that was. Y'all know what it was, man. Instead of this man taking the time to watch film and presenting you all with the illusion that he's one of the best coaches in the game, he wanted to take one last ditch effort. He wanted to go out on the highest ledge on fate and grab Terrence Crawford's glove and say, this is where I regain. This is where I resurge my glory as the top trainer in boxing. This is where I do it right here. This last ditch effort to grab Crawford's glove and feel and see if they was loaded. Wow. Wow. What a freaking coach is that? Shamefully, you would try to see if Team Crawford was participating in a heinous act of cheating just to be the fighter of yours that you nor your fighter was prepared for. Crazy, y'all. Crazy. God damn. One last ditch effort to grab that man's glove and see if he was cheating. Being that you knew was no drug testing. You wanted to grab the man's glove to say it has to be another way. No, it's your lack of preparation, Derek. You did not properly prepare. I gave you the P's before. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. You didn't care to listen to me. You didn't write those P's down. You was ill prepared for combatant that treated you all like you was unified champion. He treated you all like the champion. You treated Crawford like he was trying to be champion. You treated him like he hasn't fought nobody to get that title. You treated him like Jeff Horn won shit. Y'all never treated him as if he was the champion. I don't think I heard them say that, bro. I know I heard Crawford say that, like, hey, we training, like he's the champion. Like we're trying to become the champion. We're training with that mindset. And Derrick James attempts to freaking squeeze the gloves at the end of the fight as if that's his obligation in a last-ditch effort to arise and say, I knew it was something. It wasn't me being lazy. It wasn't me having too much on my plate. No. Bomac couldn't come up with all those freaking advice, doing around, that data. No, Bomac ain't smart enough to give that data like that. No, it's something else. No, he can't do that, man. All Access had me running up the hills. I was the one working out. If you look at the beginning of the fight between Spence and Crawford, you'll see Derrick James up there kicking his knees up like he's about to go fight. Oh my God. Look, he's kicking his knees like he's trying to loosen his legs. So, oh man, let me give him the full view now. Shit. Hey, Spence, let me know. I'll tag in. We can do that now. It's a new rule they passed over here in Vegas. If you want your trainer to goddamn box, they take a little time out and I can goddamn lace up, goddamn put them gloves on and goddamn I can go in there and lace up too. But don't take your gloves off because I don't know how long I'm gonna last, how many seconds. That nigga whooping your ass, he definitely gonna whoop my ass when I tag in there. Derek was up there doing knee ups. Trying to get a false perception like he did what he's supposed to do. He did not put in the work, y'all. Outlaw Pugilist, what's good? Salute WCS, salute to the chat. Salute to y'all, man. He did not do what he was supposed to do. Glad they got the last part right. Greatest fighter in the world. Yeah, man, I'm like, yeah, that interview could have been better. Seriously. Smash the like button. Yeah, y'all need to smash the like button for me. You know what I'm saying? We got 88 likes. Let's get the likes up to 100. I know I've seen 100 in the building. 100, 100. Come on, man. Make them wheels spin. Come on, stop playing, man. Stop playing. Don't act like it's a speed bump in between that one and them zeros. Come on, man. Make the wheels spin now. WJ Luckin on deck. I see you. Gloves, poison and voodoo. All that. All that. Big shout out to Tyrese once again, man, for supporting the channel. You know what I'm saying? One love to your brother. When Brooke closed Bud eye in 2 rounds, they laughed. They did. You know what I'm saying? Cause check this out, Tyrese. You know, Kell Brook was landing that jab. You know, he was landing some shots when Bud was in orthodox. He was. But I always say at the end of the 3rd round, Bud freaking switched over to southpaw. You know, he made the change. He made the change. He didn't wait forever. He made the change. And what was so crazy is that he was doing the open workouts in orthodox and southpaw. But it's just the point he was doing in orthodox, knowing he wasn't going to fight in orthodox. He was doing mid training and all that. And he was giving the impression that he was going to go orthodox southpaw because he switched it up. But yet when the first round sounded, he was in southpaw. And all hell ensued. All hell ensued. Look, it became treacherous quick. I don't think anyone was in the building drowsy, unattentive, yawning, dull, lazy. I don't think those people was doing that. I think they was wide-eyed. They was seeing what was going on. There was a lot of people that was, had their drink in their hand and they was feeling good because they bet a lot of money on their guy. All the sidebar conversations, y'all, they was feeling good. And then it became grossly violent. Hey, the hottest chat in the game. It became obscene. Ugh, God damn. I'm just having a replay, y'all. I'm looking at the ambush. It became an ambush. Back up, over. Do you copy? Back up. We need backup. We've been ambushed, over. Back up, over. Do you copy? Do you copy? Immediate backup. We've been ambushed, over. The scene became obscene. The scene became obscene, y'all. There was an attack playing out on national television. Don't let WCS tell you. You can look it up. An attack. The perimeter was breached. Bud Crawford was landing that jab on Spence with ease. How can the so-called enemy get that close? I thought we had the perimeter secured. I thought we had everything set up. I thought we had worked on this. I thought you said this guy lacked experience. How was he able to close distance so quickly and get within striking distance to inflict damage on us? We have casualty, over. Casualty. Pending casualty, over. Over. Do you copy? Casualty. I can't make this shit up, y'all. It became violent up in there. I'm looking at people that was out there in the lobby of the MGM Grand, and they was talking shit to my, oh man, you don't believe that. Bet this, bet that, man. Spence gonna go in there and beat that boy up. He gonna move furniture. And I'm hearing all the YTC to my, Errol Spence, man, it ain't shit Crawford can do, man. He's a stronger fighter. He's a more dominant fighter. You know, he has more power, his punch volume. And, you know, Crawford's never been in there with nobody like Spence. Man, hey, nobody on his resume, everybody Spence can beat. You know what I'm saying? It's not even going to be close. Crawford's now, it's pretty much over for Crawford. All them opponents he been skipping through, you know what I'm saying, half stepping through his career, it's over. Spence about to expose him. He's about to go in there and expose Crawford. It is over, y'all. Put your money on Spence if you want to goddamn get rich tonight. Put your money on Spence. I mean, they was happy about that shit. Y'all? They was happy, y'all. Do you think the mandibula oblongata was active? I'm trying to. Oh man, damn. What? How do we get past this? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how we do it. Shout out to E313. Salute to you, brother, with the $10 super chat in the building. Appreciate you. Real talk. $10. $10 on deck. Hottest chat in the game. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate Tyrese for that donation also. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the ones who support and tune in. You know, the hottest chat in the game, and thanks to the ones also who donate to the game. They donate to WCS. One love to y'all, man. Real talk. Cowboy hater. That Mayweather A-side ish don't mean nothing when your eyes closed up. Hit the like button. People's Choice, hit the like button. Hottest chat in the game. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? The hottest chat in the game, man. We're a team up in here. He's talking about the percentage in negotiations, man. Listen, I'm not sure what you're talking about per se because I'm catching up. You know what I'm saying? Drop in there what exactly where I was at with that. I'm reading comments. I'm skimming through the comments. Knockdown 305. What's good? So what if it's rehydration clause that you don't know about? Bud was way bigger than Errol in the ring. Maybe Errol stuck with the rehydration clause, but Crawford purposely missed that. You're basically fluffing and inflating. You know what I'm saying? You're just inflating information. You're coming here talking based off opinions on what you think happened. I don't know if you wear glasses or not. Really, real talk. I don't know if you was watching the fight. You know what I'm saying? On a big screen TV, an iPad, or a flip phone. I don't know. But I'm not sure if anybody else agreeing to you that all of a sudden, you know, hearing that Errol Spence was so much bigger doing the pressers. Oh man, Crawford's so small. And then now we have people come over here once again saying he was too big. You know, that Bud Crawford was the bigger man in the ring. How? Spence was taller. How was he the bigger man in the ring? How? You got to look at something. Pay attention. There's People's Choice. Salute to you for pulling up. But you remember that Spence came in at a higher weight than Crawford, right? You do know that, right? I'm just saying, you do know that, right? I just want you to know that. You do know that. WCS, you on point. He must have been on something because he wasn't just walking through punches on July 29th. Shit, he wasn't blocking them either, except with his face. I'm telling you, they don't want to talk about it. They suppress. They always talk about, oh man, I keep it real. I keep it real. I want all the smoke. You're not keeping it real if you're refusing to talk about things that's concerning you. You're suppressed at this point. You're not still being garrulous and speaking up. You're not boasting about anything because your boy lost. But what you can do is talk about how he didn't give you what he thought he gave without making some type of accusation at Crawford. No, talk about strictly what you didn't see in Errol Spence. What did you not see that concerned you? Just let him know. What did you not see? Every time I look, a lot of times I hear these people talk, they always want to say, well, Crawford did that. Crawford did. They're always being crude about him, right? They always have something crude to say. But they wouldn't criticize and be crude about Spence, knowing that he looked terrible. So the only recourse that they have, they'll sit up here and say, well, Crawford looked like he was juicing. Crawford looked like this. Crawford had loaded gloves. Crawford, left a dent in the head, which I thought that was hilarious. I like it though, because now once again you're building up Crawford, who's a drug-free fighter, right? You're building him up to be even that much better than the guy that you thought that was the pound for pound best. He look, you know how I sit back and be savage about it there, chat? And once again, salute to the hottest chat in the game, because I know they already know this shit. You know where I'm going with this entire encompassing moment? My summation. You want to hear my introspective and how I sit back and grin and smirk at these guys? Is that Errol Spence mongered around in the 147-pound division for that long and was telling people that he was coming for that fucking belt. He mongered around in that division for so long, fooling the people that, oh man, I'm gonna get this belt. I beat Sean Porter. He ain't fought nobody. He's going to a press conference out there. He's up here bragging. I saw Showtime, talking about this the other day about when he was bragging about beating Algieri. Spence was up there bragging about beating Chris Algieri, right? But you know what make me smirk? He mongered around 147-pound division for all that time to lose, to get the final scrap after you said you was taking the easy route. So what I said was golden. The easy route ruined you, because all that time that you was parlaying and saying, I'm going to do this my way, this, that, and the other, you never took it serious about Crawford that was at the end. You felt that you all can somehow, some way come up with a plan to lift that WBO belt. And you put all your faith in Sean Porter. But I smirk knowing that this man spent his damn career 147 to make a declaration to become undisputed, and you failed. So what all these aerosexuals say out here, I just sit back and smirk about it, because y'all went along for the ride too. Y'all was the helmet passengers back there jumping all around and banging your head off the window and goddamn doing goofy shit. Hanging out the emergency exit. Look at me. I'm an effective wall. I'm an effective wall. Being crazy and clowny. You know what I'm saying? They was being clowny the whole time. They didn't even think about this man spent his whole career kicking cans, only to take the easy route to get to the end and underestimate the ass whooping and the massacre that played out. It's nothing you can say or do to get me upset. I'm feeling real good, especially the money I made. I'm feeling good. Oh my God. Hottest chat in the game. I hope you feeling good too. I hope you sit back and you was like seeing that whole freaking massacre play out, man. It's not often we can be witnesses to a homicide without going down to the station and telling people what we saw. Now we could just tell them what we saw on the YTC. Man, hey, it ain't shit they can say to make me feel nothing. They can't make you feel inferior without your permission. We busy out here talking about Crawford and what he did. They busy out here talking about Crawford and what he didn't do. I mean, come on, bro. Look, they talk about Crawford, what he didn't do. How can he go in there and do that to Spence? He didn't do that before. He didn't do that. How could Crawford go in there and do that? Man, he didn't do that. He didn't beat freaking the real Spence. That wasn't the real Spence. The real Spence, he wouldn't have been weight drained. But look, they sit up there and they was boasting senselessly. They were saying that he beat the brakes off Ugas and sent the man to the hospital and had his eye bleeding for 40 days and 40 nights. No one was talking about juice. But Crawford, who no one was never talking about no performance-enhancing drugs, right? Now, all of a sudden, they want to bring up Snack and Victor Conte and all this other shit, dog. They want to bring up all that shit, man. Oh, why was he with Victor Conte? But they didn't want to bring up Mikey Garcia with Victor Conte. They didn't want to bring up Mikey Garcia with Victor Conte now. How do you explain that, though? A man moving up 2 weight classes. They didn't bring up J-Rock. Wasn't he a Snack guy? Like, why didn't Mikey Garcia beat Errol Spence Jr.? If we're talking about performance-enhancing supplements, why wasn't he able to defeat Errol Spence Jr.? How all of a sudden Snack is coming to question because Crawford went in there and made it so easy, and the actual supplement itself is legal. It meets all guidelines to not be considered a banned substance or a supplement that enhances the performance of athletes above the what they call it, above the approved, allowed. You know what I'm saying? It meets all the protocol and standards. Crawford got the win, good fight, but something just wasn't right with EJ, and y'all all saying that. No, y'all ain't always see. Okay. I'll be fair with you, people choice. Okay, I'll be fair with you. Something wasn't right with EJ, especially when Crawford's glove kept molesting his jawbone and his chin. I felt that was a little bit awkward. You know what I'm saying? You're right. It was a little bit awkward because every time I turned around, those gloves is over there. You know what I'm saying? Them gloves, you know, look. Crawford's left glove and the right glove was having conversations in between that fight. They was like, man, you ain't right for that shit you just did. The left glove was talking to the right glove. You ain't right, man. Seriously. You didn't have to do him dirty like that. But it's not me, it's Crawford. He's the one that's doing it, man. I seen you, man. You dirty, man. God damn, man. You wrong for that. You didn't have to do that boy dirty like that. Goddamn, punching him in the eyes like the way you doing with that jab. But I'm here to protect the hands. But you were still on the scene of the crime, though. You were still on the scene of the crime. See, I'm mad. I ain't feel no type of way because we boys, right? We work as a team, right? Left and right. Right, homie? Okay. I thought Crawford was going to use me a little bit more since I'm the left because the Derrick James was slapping the shit out of his fighter prior to in the open workout. I said, God damn it, I know Crawford's going to use me. I was waiting to come over the right. I know I got goddamn Crawford. Come on. I was cocked. I was ready. Come on. Go with the right. And he didn't use it like I thought. He didn't use me. I was ready. He didn't use me though. He didn't. I'm pissed. But dude, you, man, they're gonna have you all over freaking epilogue, dog. You know what I'm saying? Right hand. God damn, nigga. When he was in that corner, dude. And you goddamn hit him with that right. You when he hit that right uppercut, dude. I say he gonna be all over television. They was having conversations in the ring. But man, you know we work together, man. I like what you do, man. Man, same to you. I like what you do too, man. Hey, we did our thing tonight. Yeah, man, we did. The left and right was having a conversation, dog. Man, we did our motherfucking thing in here tonight. Man, I just can't wait to see the epilogue and the rewind and all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to come over, man. We're gonna goddamn have a fight party after this, man, and check out our work. All right, no doubt. We can do that. Skills, what's good? Only excuse is Spence and his team underestimated Crawford. Spence's skill set still won't be any better if they ever cross paths again. They're going to have to cross paths, you know what I'm saying, because they want the paycheck. But, you know, it's a lot of people out there that are saying he shouldn't take the fight, you know. Only excuse I'll entertain, because it's probably true, is that Spence and his team underestimated Crawford. Spence's skill set still won't be any better if they ever cross paths again. You know, the reason why I said that twice, because we got to think about, will they ever think about crossing paths again? After all the criticism that's coming. Shout out to Rebel Life in the building. Rebel Life Boxing, salute to you, brother. You know, thanks for pulling up, man. Y'all definitely go check out Rebel Life, man. Doing his thing over there, no doubt. Bud said Shakur told him to go southpaw before the fight. All right. You know, the young lion, I call him the emperor of boxing. All right. Hey, Shakur was on that time. He said, we here to extirpate. Extirpate means exterminate, goddammit. He said, we here to exterminate all doubt. I don't know what the hell y'all on. Yo, he did the high knees. For real, right? He up there being a clown doing high knees like he about to fight. Hey, DJ. Man, that's all he wanted them to say. Hey, DJ. When did I never saw it happen. I saw a little mouse. You know how they exaggerate that Wagner. Shout out to Ken on day. You know how they exaggerate. You know, they would have said, you know, Bud, I look like Ugas. You know, if you listen to any of these debates, man, they was exaggerating the shit out of that. Like, they was just coming up with situations that you say, dude, were you looking at a movie at the time? Like, what are you doing? Are you okay? Are you sober? What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Where are you coming up with this? Almost like you're speaking a foreign language right now, man. What's going on with you? Yes, a rehydration clause on Spence to get outboxed, outskilled. Nobody's talking about no rehydration clause. Oh, yes, a rehydration clause caused Spence to get outboxed, outskilled, and beat the hell up. Hey, they got to go through desperate measures, bro, with this rehydration clause. They want to make it seem like, I mean, what rehydration clause we talking about? Because, you know, Bomac once again said that they've been fighting big dudes their whole life. You know what I'm saying? What rehydration clause? And then if it was a rehydration clause, what was the weight? Because, you know, last time I checked, it was 46.8 and Spence came in at 47 even. So goddamn, like, what do you think he was after he started eating those avocado burgers? They want to talk about Crawford fought David Avocado, But the only person I seen eating avocado doing his freaking epilogue was Spence. You know what I'm saying? And give me the high sauce. I need hot sauce. I love high sauce. I love hot sauce. I like that on the tongue, the hot sauce. I love that hot sauce. Hot sauce. Give me the hot sauce. I need more hot sauce. When can I only get two? Only get two. I need one more. No, we can't do it, man. You gotta make weight, dog. You gotta make weight now. You gotta make weight. No, man, we got that agreement. I gave him the concessions. I'm good, man. I get the concessions. I'm being on point with something else too. I think he didn't make weight. Real talk. I just think he couldn't get down. The fight was gonna go on regardless. Nobody's gonna convince me he made weight at exactly 147. I don't think he really made weight like that. But you know what I'm saying? It's just my opinion. That's all. My opinion. That's all. I'm not here to find fault on how he made it to the fight, but I don't really think he made weight like that. You spoke on the extra money Spence gave up to make the fight and $1 million. Bro, there was no drug testing in the fight. There was no drug testing. You can say whatever you want on the back end. Both of them pretty much got the same guarantee money. I don't care about any of that. But what's more important, drug testing or how much money you getting paid at the end of the day? Do you want somebody to just come in there and cut corners? You know what I'm saying? Do you think that's everything upon everything? Or you want safety? You know what I'm saying? Do you work with the team or not? You know what I'm saying? You can't come over here and keep on putting in the same copy and paste rehydration. Bro, the fight is over with, man. You know what I'm saying? The fight is over with. He wasn't tired he wasn't tired. No, he wasn't. That's a lie. Spence was still fighting. That's why I gave him his credit. I say Spence was still fighting. When he was knocked down in the second, he got up. He fought on, man. He landed some good shots. You know what I'm saying? He landed like two good shots, man. He was being predictable. He landed two good flush shots on Bud, and it didn't alter the current onslaught of affection that his gloves was showing Spence. You know, Terrence Crawford gloves was showing Spence that good affection. Real talk. It was massaging his jawbones and his chin. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, it was massaging the rib cage. Oh man. Them two gloves knew they was a different type of twins. Real horsehair and all. Them some different type of twins. Charlo ain't got shit on Terrence Crawford left and right. Them gloves right there, they knew they was wrong. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all even know what their hashtag was. Terrence Crawford's left and right gloves. It was called chin only. Chin only. That was the hashtag. Chin only. That's what them gloves hashtag was. Chin only. Because every time I turned around, them gloves was coming back and forth, revisiting over and over again. Chin only, goddammit. Bang. They was wrong for that. They was wrong. Every now and then, you know, yeah, he was stabbing with the jab on the forehead. You know, popping them, but goddamn, that shit was chin only, goddamn it. We don't even have to say anything, W says. We have visual evidence they can watch. Visual, dog. We have visual. Carlos, we have visuals. Oh my God. That visual is just so bad, man. Oh my God, the quibbling. They have to watch that and they're going to start to quiver. The motherfuckers going to start becoming full-grown babies. They're going to be calling in the hotlines. And please, somebody stop it. Make it go away. Excuse me, sir, ma'am. State your name, where you calling from. It doesn't matter, man. The WCS. Oh. That visual, dog. I just hate it. Oh my God. He keep on reminding us of July 29th. They're gonna be talking about I lost so much though. How am I ever gonna recover? This man spent his entire career at 147 pounds only to not complete the manifesto, bro. You couldn't complete the manifesto. You made the declaration to become undisputed. You did, Spence, and you lost. Not only did you lose, you got beat up. You gave us too much content to remind us of what happened. You gave us too much to think about for years and 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 years. You know what I'm saying? And years and years. Man, I'm trying to be cool, man, for real. I'm way over my 2-hour limit, man. I'm just trying to be cool about it, for real, man. Seriously. The way Spence looked that night of the fight reminded me of scared kid face. It was bad, the boxing fan talk. Let me see. I knew all the participation trophies they gave out years ago was going to catch up to these guys. They caught up to him bad. They caught up to him bad, y'all. Bad. They caught up to him. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the stray in the building. Shout out to the stray in the building. You know what I'm saying? All the excuses that y'all got. But just like, just like they just said, right? You got the visual out there. You got that visual, dog. Y'all got that visual. Let me give you another visual now. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you that visual. Look how many witnesses it was. Were you one of those witnesses? Come on, man. Were you there? Were you there for the carnage? See, this is what I'm talking about when that left and right glove was having a conversation. And the reason the left glove was jealous, because it was chin only. And the left glove was jealous of the right glove because every time he looked over there, the right glove was getting all the attention. And this was why. This picture was why, dog. This was why. Look at that. The glove is sitting right there, nestled right in close and snug. It was so snug on the chin, dog. And with the horsehair gloves, you know what I'm saying? The horsehair gloves that Derek James say that he had to feel, he had to see if the glove was loaded. And what the people say, oh, this horsehair, it has less padding. Harvey, dog, do you think with the horsehair gloves you've seen something wrong with Spence, his conditional? Harvey, come on, give me something to go off of, Harvey, please, with your experience. Did you see any type of abnormalities, Harvey? You was the third man in the ring. Well, what I can tell you, to be honest, in my years of experience as a referee, only abnormalities I seen was that Crawford continued to land punches on the facial structure of Errol Spence Jr. And I started to see abnormalities as in the raising of the skin, blood under the skin, bruising, swelling, inflammation. If you want to talk about those abnormalities, yes, I will be on record as saying I seen those abnormalities. And not only that, I had a growing concern since round 5. You know what I'm saying? Because in round 2, he got knocked down. And then, round 5, we had to say, oh, he's getting hit with some clean punches. So with those clean punches brought on the abnormalities, which showed me I should be concerned. And my concern was that we wanted to look out for the best interest because that jab was just, it couldn't miss. It couldn't miss, man. So that's why the left glove was mad with the right glove, that it was getting all the attention. You know what I'm saying? Chins only. Ain't no chins better than the left and right. They are the true chins out here. They was on that chin all night long. And this was a perfect example of the footage that was captured from the goddamn body cam. You know what I'm saying? Of somebody that was ringing a body cam got this footage. Look how that right hand is just sitting nice and tucked right on that chin right there. Nice and snug. Come on, nice and snug, y'all. Nice and snug. Nice and snug. Chin only, goddammit. What if Errol failed a drug test? And that's why he gave Bud concessions to give quite about the failed test. You know what I'm saying? It could be a lot. It could be a lot. Okay. Shout out to Donald in the building. It could be a lot. The strays have returned to get smoked like Spence did. Yeah, the strays, they can't help themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? They can't help themselves. You know what I'm saying? That man was in 147 pounds his whole career with the perfect plan, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They had the perfect plan, y'all. They had the perfect plan. They just didn't have the final plan. They had the perfect scheme to get to where they wanted to go. But once they got there, they just didn't do enough research and studying. They just failed. Real talk. Now we have all the visual and audio that's telling us that these cats will continue to look angry. They will continue to speak in a threatening way. You know what I'm saying? They will continue to basically enforce verbal abuse like they've been doing. They will continue to not understand that they themselves, the aerosexuals, are the real outcast on the YTC because you are unwilling to show fair sportsmanship. You're unwilling to do that. All you have to do is look at the film, and it will bring you up to speed as to where you should be right now. You should be a lot more calm, but you're full of strife. And when I use these $1.50 words, man, I'm saying to myself, is there any other words you can use to drive it home with the aerosexuals? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can. There's plenty out here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be silent when there should be a voice. I'm ready to be the voice. I've been there. And so is the hottest chat in the game. We're out here trying to be a voice, man. We want to let the aerosexuals know that everything is up. It's over. It's done. Your falsehood of speech, like I put out there, the pseudology, it failed him. It's over. Don't need to be quarreling with us right now. Stop it. Stop coming up here so mad. You know what I'm saying? Full of vitriol. Be high-spirited now. I'm not here to be your counselor, even though I am a little bit older than a lot of y'all. I'm not here to be the counselor. But you're not looking attractive on the surface anymore. Before, you were so attractive. You was like, oh, man, Spencer's going to do it. He's going to go up here. He's going to knock Crawford out. Crawford, he's chinning. He ain't fought nobody. All of that is done. It's over. It's done. You know what I'm saying? You're showing that you don't have vitality. And I'm going to let you go with this right here. The likelihood that this is going to stick with you for quite some time. I cannot be silent when there should be a voice. This is what WCS does. So pretty much dealing with the sweet science, we're going to continue to remind you all and contribute to your analytics. I'm going to continue to talk my shit because you deserve it. And the likelihood of this ending this week is extremely Just simply, it's not going to happen. Extremely unlikely. For those of you that tuned in today and support the channel, I salute you. One love. And to the hottest chat in the game, continue to get the hot grease and never let that shit get room temperature. You know why? Because they still going to come up here bitching and complaining and acting like, hey, man, I just want to talk some boxing, which don't fall for it. They're going to come in here with the same remediated nonsense that took them to the failure point, the point of failure, rather, on July 29th. They're going to come up here with the same shit. It's going to take, they acting like they want to be your friend. And they're going to start off real cool. Hey, man, I know you's a Crawford fan and all that. I know. And it took me a while to get over it. But let me ask you something, man. When they tell you that right there, let me ask you something. Turn your back on them and walk away. Hey, man, you don't think that Crawford, man, when he walked away from negotiation, he stalled Bud out. He stalled Spence out, because they would have fought in 2022. It would have been different. Don't you think that it was wrong for Crawford to ask for those concessions? Don't you feel that, Crawford might have been, on some type of damn enhancement? Do you think him using horsehair gloves, it wasn't fair to Spence, he probably didn't know, but he probably knew but didn't know how the horsehair gloves was? Do you think the long layoff of Errol Spence, he should have, took a tune-up in between, and Crawford didn't want him to take a tune-up? Do you think when Errol Spence said that he had been at the 147-pound division too long and it was time for him to move up, do you think he should have moved up and they should have fought at 154? Because it's Crawford's fault he didn't do it. He could have did that. He could have got with the sanctioning body, man, and all that to do that. Man, come on, bro. Be very careful. They're going to act like they're going to walk up to you and they're going to try to be friendly and trustworthy. Don't trust them. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. When they ask you, hey, man, I just saw you up here at the bar. Hey, can I get a drink for them? Don't take no drinks from these. I'm telling you, they're goddamn try to get you drunk and put you on camera. Hey, man, you smoke? Hey, let's go outside and smoke. They're going to get you some good weed with some alcohol and shit. They're going to try to take you out there and have a conversation. And then they're going to start asking them goddamn leading questions. You know what I'm saying? They're going to ask you the lead questions, bad. But, hey, y'all smart. Y'all continue to hold that shit down, man. Salute to the hottest chat in the game, man. Hit the like button on your way out. And big salute to the ones who support the channel. Until next time, man.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports.